Welcome to Mentally Stronger, the podcast where with every episode, we're learning practical ways to let go of stress and struggles, grow our mental strength, and live a happier, healthier, more meaningful life. I'm your host, Melly O'Brien, co-founder of mindfulness.com and creator of mindfulness-based mental strength training. I'm so glad to have you with me. Let's dive in to today's episode. Today, I'm going to talk about a concept that has made a really big difference in the quality of my life when I've been going through stressful, demanding, or busy times. And it's the concept, the idea of having 3 fundamentals to thrive, getting really, really clear on what they are, and using them to support you and nourish you and uplift you through the difficult times of your life. So if you're, like me, practicing self-care isn't always easy. It doesn't always come naturally. I tend to be a person who, despite many years of teaching contemplative practices and mental strength, I just have a driven personality and I love to do a lot. I love to be busy. And sometimes if I don't keep a track of self-care, it can slip into the background. Maybe you can relate to this as you're hearing me talk, right? Most of us are living busy and stressful lives these days. We have also the demands of technology all around us right now. And in the world, we are facing growing uncertainty and demands on us and stressful situations. We have the threat of, a looming war, constant pressure to adapt to changing technology. We have climate change events going on. Most of us are carrying a lot. And in busy or stressful times, self-care is often the last thing on the agenda of things to do. Worse than that, we can actually sometimes feel guilty about making time to look after ourselves. But if we don't practice self-care in those times and ongoing, we can find ourselves slipping down into what is called the exhaustion funnel. So the exhaustion funnel concept comes from Dr. Marie Asberg from the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. She is one of the world's leading experts on burnout and how it happens. So if you can imagine right now in your mind's eye a funnel, and Marie teaches that if you think about the top of the funnel, right, that widest part of the funnel, this represents your life when it's in balance. There's a balance between things that nourish you in your life and things that are also draining or stressful. The top of the funnel is a sustainable place to stay. I mean, you can keep going like that for years and years and years, and you have enough balance, you have enough nourishment to stay healthy and happy. However, as we start to get busier, what tends to happen is self-care takes a back seat to make room for more important stuff, right? So what usually happens is you decide to stop doing the things that give you pleasure, the things that recharge the batteries, nourishing things that replenish you, things like quality time with loved ones, rest, play, hobbies you enjoy. These are things that you start to think of as optional, and they disappear from your calendar as you take on more and more of the things that drain you, the chores, the extra workload, that kind of thing. Now, often we tell ourselves that we're just putting them on the back burner just for a little while because we don't have time, because we have other things that need to get done. This is the point where we start to slip down into the exhaustion funnel. Slowly, what happens is you get more and more depleted because you're not filling your cup, right? You're just emptying it. So eventually you're left with very little left in your life except for work and chores, things that drain you like an energy vampire. Eventually, if you keep going on like this, you end up totally depleted and exhausted. And if you go all the way down to the bottom of this funnel, what happens is you eventually burn out, break down, or get really, really sick. Embarrassingly, I have been there. The bottom of the exhaustion funnel is not a fun place to be. All of you guys out there who are listening to this who have been through burnout know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes a long time to recover if you get all the way to the bottom of this funnel. If you have a feeling in your life at any stage of being in kind of like a slump, where you just start to feel more and more drained every day, the kind of joy is starting to go from your life. You're starting to get moodier, tireder. You're starting to have to feel like you have to push yourself. You're getting foggy-headed. Some of these can be signs that you're slipping down into the exhaustion funnel. So this feeling of being in a slump is often one of the first signs that happens when we stop doing things that nourish us, that energize us, that keep us healthy and strong and vital. And look, let's face it, when we don't practice self-care, when we don't take care of ourselves, we end up just making life harder for ourselves. We lose energy, we lose focus, we lose clarity, our mood plummets, and this impacts everything, our relationships, our ability to work well, and it affects our overall quality of life. So how can we avoid the exhaustion funnel? How can we maintain calm, well-being, and inner strength throughout the journey of our lives, even when things are stressful or busy? And in fact, especially when things are stressful or busy. So one way to keep a check on this is to have the fundamentals to thrive. These are the habits that you do consistently, usually daily, to keep you happy, balanced, energized, and healthy. A few years ago, during my time of launching and then co-leading mindfulness.com, everybody on our team had to list down their 3 fundamentals to thrive. Everyone on the team knew what every other person's fundamentals were. And every single week, we actually checked in on each other, because launch mode for a company like that is an intense time. So we checked on each other each week to make sure people were still doing their fundamentals and they weren't slipping into that exhaustion funnel. Now, this checking in with each other wasn't done with any sense of judgment or anything like that. It was rather just to see if that person needed any extra support, to check in, make sure they had enough time to live a balanced and healthy lifestyle during a busy time in all of our lives. So to give you an example of what fundamentals might sound like, my 3 fundamentals at the moment are my daily meditation practice for a minimum of 30 minutes, daily exercise for a minimum of 45 minutes, and daily time in nature. For other people on our team at mindfulness.com, they had things like getting 8 hours of sleep. Maybe some of them had a particular hobby that they loved. Some spoke about spending time with loved ones. Some had things like prayer and yoga. One person on our team really loved cooking. So for him, it was a fundamental to spend relaxing time every day cooking healthy food, because it really nurtured him. So what nurtures and nourishes you? What would be your 3 fundamentals that if you were doing them daily or close to daily, this is not a perfection project, right? It doesn't matter if you have the odd day here where you don't do this, but the aim is to consistently do these habits because you know that they help you thrive. So I want to encourage you to start small and realistic. You could do simple things like take a 15-minute tea break in the sun every day, do some gentle stretching, make sure you eat enough vegetables each day or drink enough water. Whatever your fundamentals are, I encourage you to take some time today to actually write them down and make a commitment to them as an act of self-love and sanity. It can be hard to find the extra time for self-care, but these days, more than ever, it's extremely important to plan regular self-care time, especially if you're going through a busy, stressful, or demanding period of your life. The more you can work these fundamentals into your schedule, the better you'll be able to grow, stay strong, and thrive. So as always, thank you for listening. Thanks for being a part of this community, and wishing you a wonderful week ahead. I hope you find benefit in this practice, and I will catch you in the next episode of Mentally Stronger. Until then, take care and stay strong. If you know someone who you think might benefit from listening to this episode, share it with them. Sharing it could really help them to feel better and improve the quality of their life. And if you found this episode helpful, remember to subscribe to the podcast so that you can receive more tips on growing your mental strength. And if you'd like some more support in becoming mentally strong, come over to the website and check out the different coaching and training options I have on offer there for you. You can find the links for all of that in the show notes. And thanks again for tuning in. Take care and stay strong.